Next speaker is Harold Save.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, my name is Harold Save, and I'm a member of Veterans for Peace. I'm also a member of the Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. We have 1,333 licensed professionals in the building industry who want a new 9/11 investigation. That's not the only group. Last month, you folks were able to see Building 7 fall down. I'm not going to ask you what your opinion of that was at this time, but in my role as a spokesman tonight for Veterans for Peace, I will give you the resolution that Veterans for Peace has determined as of last year. Veterans for Peace is one of the most effective anti-war groups in America. But since nobody can talk about 9/11 except in the United Nations, we have to come to the City Commission meeting because not even the Gainesville Sun will allow us to talk about 9/11. The Veterans for Peace passed a resolution last year to seek accountability for the mistakes that allowed the 9/11-2001 attacks to succeed. Tell Congress the need to open a new investigation into the events of 9/11 is more urgent than ever because we're at war because of this, what most people are now beginning to call a false flag event. The resolution reads, support a valid investigation into the national security failures of the 9/11-2001 attacks inside the United States. Whereas the pretext for 2 illegal wars of occupation, torture, and war crimes was justified by the catastrophic events of 9/11-2001, and whereas Congress was blocked by the White House from their intended investigation in connection with the massive national security failures of 9/11, and whereas not one person has been held accountable for the national security failures that allowed the 9/11 attacks to succeed, and whereas Lee Hamilton, co-chair of the 9/11 Commission, confessed that his commission was, in his words, set up to fail. Now we have no investigation of 9/11. But Islam is being demonized and Muslims are being demonized. And it's making national headlines. And nobody's bothering to say that the evidence does not support Muslims or anybody else as a national leader by country or by religion as the perpetrator of the 9/11 attacks. So thank you very much. We have 4 members here tonight. We would have more, but some of them are a little timid to speak in public because of the topic. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Jody, I believe. Jody or Judy? Okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Judy Ragassa, and I'm here to support the reopening of the investigation for 9/11 Truth because when I realized, first of all, I wasn't even aware of Building 7 until about a month and a half ago. And when I became aware of it, I was just dumbstruck at my laptop the entire weekend, staring at was the most atrocious thing that I didn't have any clue as to it even being. So I've since then been studying it very deeply, and it occurs to me that we all have kids. I have teenagers, and I know you all must have kids. And what I have learned is that our freedoms are in danger. The Patriot Act is raping the Constitution. It might as well be burning. And this is the government that we are leaving to our children, okay? So I pledge allegiance to my children that I'm going to stand up and do something. And if I can't do anything bigger than come and address a panel of my representatives here, then at least I'm doing something. Because if we don't stand up to what is going on in this government, and by the way, I just wanted to read the dictionary meaning of Stonewall, and that is what is going on here. All the way up, we have issues down local, you guys can be more effective with. Thank you. And we have issues that are huge and global. And stonewalling means a delay or block a request to process or person by refusing to answer questions or by giving evasive replies, especially in politics. The highest level of bureaucracy stonewalled us. And that means us, that means the U.S. We the people are just being completely disregarded from all the way up to all the way down. And the people who can't fathom that this is a false flag situation that needs to be uncovered, well, I just feel sorry for people who can't even open their minds enough to have the bravery to do a little bit of studying online and actually see what kind of country we are leaving to our children and their children. It's a mess. I think, in my opinion, is this is just exactly like Hitler and the regime. Only it's much more craftily covered up, and they at least had the excuse of not being able to communicate with each other. All they had was telegraph back then. We have this, that, and the other thing. And so I'm just here to speak up to that, because I'm not going to leave that kind of thing to my kids and have them go, why didn't you do something? And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next speaker is Ed Reyes.
Good evening again, commissioners, mayor. My name is Ed. You can call me Eddie. We've been here a couple times and we've seen some videos, and I think we're going to continue to be seeing each other in the future a lot more, we hope. A lot of people around the world are watching. The video that was posted from our last City Commission meeting got over 25,000 hits on YouTube. And, you know, people are paying attention to what's going on in Gainesville for many reasons, obviously. Koran, but September 11th, I don't think it's falling off the map as people will hope or have hoped for it to happen. Because every September 11th, every year, people are going to remember what happened. And if you remember what happened, and I know why I'm here, because I was traumatized by what happened, what I watched happen. So, this is why we'll continue to come here. As Harold pointed out, 1,333 architects and engineers, and 10,001 average supporters. So I don't know if any of you believe in numerology, but there's your numbers for you. And I think it's your opportunity to let the record show. Even if you think that it doesn't matter, at least you let the record show where you stood on this very crucial event. I'm going to read a statement by the intelligence officers, as much of it as I can. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this issue. The tragic events of September 11th have been used to justify the meaning of the unending war on terror. Illegal wars in the Middle East, which millions of innocent people have been maimed, killed, displaced, and the erosion of our traditional freedoms and values have done the same. Furthermore, in the name of protecting national security post 9/11, spy agencies across the world have been given sweeping new powers and resources. Their intelligence has been politicized to build a case for the disastrous war in Iraq. They are failing to stop terrorist attacks, and they have colluded in illegal acts of internment and kidnapping and torture. However, many intelligence officers are joining in the growing number of professionals with various kinds of expertise, including architects, engineers, firefighters, politicians. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Bob Koskin.
It's Bob Tuskin, my website, theylie.com. I'm a talk show host, so I get to do shameless plugs at all my appearances. And as you could see, this is a very emotional issue that we've brought forth to you guys before. Mayor, I've asked you a couple times now whether or not you followed up on the Building 7 footage, And from what I hear, and according to 25,000 viewers out there that Ed just mentioned on YouTube, you finally got a chance to watch the footage. All of you commissioners did as well. 6 minutes, from what I understand, of footage of Building 7 that really only takes 6 seconds to actually watch the collapse of this 47-story building that was not hit by an airplane and fell at 5:20 in the afternoon on that dreadful day. Now, Mayor, after watching that footage, I have a simple yes or no question. Now, I'm not trying to set you up here, but do you support a new investigation for September 11th, considering that the investigation we received doesn't even mention the collapse of Building 7?
I'm not qualified to answer that question.
Great. That's why we want to ask you to continue to support architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, the people who are qualified with the academic background. Now, I think you could have at least said yes, Mayor. You know, that was kind of a softball response. I hope that you come up with something better than just a "I'm not qualified to answer" sort of bureaucratic response in the future. I'm going to hold you accountable, and so is Gators 9/11 Truth. We're going to hold everyone accountable to continue to represent truth and to look at the experts who are showing you truth. It's important that truth in this time, these serious times we're living in, is always presented to the public, despite the mainstream media trying to cover up these sorts of things. And Mayor, I hear these declarations you've done for all these other issues. You did something for the Koran burning distraction. 9/11 is not another distraction, mainstream media sort of scandal to look at. This is a serious issue. And I hope to hear some sort of proclamation, and maybe we can work together on this, making some sort of statement on this. What do you think? Would you be open to that?
Actually, proclamations, we don't use proclamations for the purpose of taking a position on an issue such as that. That would take
Sure.
the form of a resolution.
What could we do?
Which would call for a vote by the entire city commission. Actually, I would suggest that you contact federal law enforcement agencies and perhaps the law enforcement agencies local to the area where this occurred.
Great, and we support our local sheriffs because they're a buffer between us and federal tyranny. And we also have contacted the FBI, in which you might be interested to see their response. That's at Gators911truth.org. They actually responded to us with not just a form letter in which they acknowledged the evidence that we've presented to you guys many times. So perhaps since they're the experts on these sorts of affairs of security, you might refer to them as a matter of the security of Gainesville and the security of the great people here.
Your time is concluded.
Thank you so much.